Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today's English lesson is about how to ask for permission. So, in this lesson, you will learn several methods to ask for permission. Number 1, may I? So the form is may I followed by the base form of the verb. Example: may I have a cup of coffee? May I sit here? May I go to the toilet? So here we see we have may I followed by the base form of the verb. Have, sit, go. And since this is a question, when we write it, we always write the question mark at the end. Okay? So, may I, to ask permission. And may I is the most correct way to ask for permission in traditional English. So it's the best way. Okay? However, it is quite formal. So it is quite a formal way to ask for permission. And in modern English, people often use can I and could I. So these are alternatives, and we will look at these methods in a minute. Okay, so the first thing to understand is this is the most correct way. Okay, in strict English, then may I is the best way to ask for permission. So let's look at can I and could I. Can I? So, very important. In theory, in strict English, we do not use can for permission. Okay? And this is because normally we use can, the modal verb can, to describe ability and opportunity. So two examples. I can speak French. So this is using the modal verb can to describe ability. I have the ability to speak French. I know how to speak French. That's what this means. And opportunity, we can travel on the bus when we visit London. So this means when we visit London, we will have the opportunity to travel on the bus. Okay, so this is the normal use of can for ability and opportunity. And in theory, in strict English, we do not use can for permission. But, however, very important, this is in theory. This is strict English. But in modern English, in practice, in modern English, it is common to use can to ask for permission, to describe permission. Example. So the form is can I followed by the base form of the verb. So it's the same form as may I. So example. Can I have a slice of cake? Can I go to the park with my friends? So here we are in fact asking for permission to go to the park. We're not asking, am I physically able to go to the park? So this is in modern English, okay? In practice, in fact, people do use can for permission, even though strictly it is not correct. Okay, so my advice is understand that it is not perfect English, but everyone uses this. Okay, if you go to England or if you go to America, you will hear people using can I for permission. Okay, and it is honestly it's acceptable, it's fine. Okay, it's only in very, very strict English where it is not acceptable. Okay, if you have a doubt, if you want to be perfect strict English, use may I. Okay, so can I is quite informal, and we can use could I to be more formal. So could I is more formal than can I, but the meaning is the same. And the structure is the same. The form is could I followed by the base form of the verb. Example, could I borrow your pen? So we have could I followed by the base form of the verb. It's hot in here. Could I open the window? So we're asking for permission to open the window using could. So we could say, can I open the window? Or could I open the window? Or may I open the window? All of them are correct. This is a very good expression. Do you mind if? And it means, is it a problem for you if? And the structure is, do you mind if, followed by the present simple form of the verb. Example, where are you going? And David replies, I'm going to the pub for a drink. And Mark says, do you mind if I join you? Do you mind if I join you? So Mark is in fact asking for permission to go to the pub with David. He's saying, is it a problem for you if I join you? This is an excellent expression. Do you mind if I join you? It's an excellent way of asking if you can go with someone somewhere. Okay? Another example, Jane says, I'm going home. See you tomorrow. And Mark replies, do you mind if I call you later? So Mark is asking for permission from Jane to call her. It's another way of saying, is it, he's asking, can I call you later? Okay? It's asking for permission to call her later. Do you mind if I call you later? Is it a problem for you if I call you later? Is it all right if? And this is the form. Is it all right if plus the present simple? So notice here, all right is one word and there's one letter L. Or we can write it like this, as two words, all right. And we pronounce it the same way, but like this, there are two letter L's. Okay? Both are correct. I personally prefer this one. Example. Jane says, are you coming to my party tomorrow? And Sarah replies, yes. Is it all right if I bring a friend? Is it all right if I bring a friend? So we have, is it all right if, followed by I bring, which is the present simple. So Sarah is asking for permission to bring a friend. And an alternative is it okay if? And it's the same meaning. and it's also followed by the present simple. Or we can write it like this. Is it okay if? So this is the full form of this. This is like an abbreviation of this. It's the same word. Example. The manager says, "Have you finished the reports?" And David replies, "No, not yet. Is it okay if I finish them tomorrow? Is it okay if I finish them tomorrow?" So David is asking for permission to finish them tomorrow. Okay? So is it okay if? This is slightly more informal than this. Okay? But both are fine. Both are fine. Both are correct. So how to reply? So if you want to give someone permission, if someone asks you for permission and you want to say yes, here are some methods. So Mark asks, "May I borrow these reports?" And the manager replies, "Sure, no problem." Or, "Of course, go ahead." Another example, Jane says, "Can I take your photograph?" And Sarah replies, "Yes, that's fine by me." "Yes, feel free." "Yes, of course you can." So these are 5 different ways of giving permission to someone, of saying yes when they ask you for permission. Okay, so they're very good methods. Notice here that we repeat the modal from the question. So the question was, "Can I take your photograph?" And Sarah replies, "Yes, of course you can." Okay. How to give permission reluctantly. So what does this mean? Well, reluctantly is an adverb, and it means that we do something that we don't want to do, that we do not want to do. Therefore, giving permission reluctantly means that we say yes, but in fact, we would prefer to say no. Okay, so we say yes, perhaps to be polite, but really we don't want to say yes. We want to say no. So here is an example. Jane asks, "May I leave the office early today?" And the manager replies, "Yes, I suppose so." So the manager says yes, but he also says, "I suppose so." So this shows that the manager would prefer to say no. He's saying yes, but he's not very pleased. He's not very happy with the request. Or he says, "Yes, if you must." So again, this is another way to say yes reluctantly. Okay, he says yes, but really he wants to say no. He's not very pleased with Jane. Okay, so if someone says this to you, then you need to understand that they're not very happy with you. Okay. And how to say no, how to simply say no politely. So this is how to refuse permission politely. Example. Mark asks, "May I smoke in here?" And the manager replies, "I'm afraid that's not possible." Or, "I'm terribly sorry, but the answer is no." Or, I'm going to have to say no. Sorry. Okay, so these are 3 very good ways of saying no politely. Okay, so there we are. That's the end. And here are some other videos which you might be interested in.